Thank you, thank you. I feel kind of bad because my speech is like nowhere near as long as anybody else's. I got like 3 seconds up here. But it's a great day to be out here. How's everybody doing? It's great. Got good energy. It's good to see. You know, my son and nephew, so don't be alarmed. Just little guys. On this, the 2-year sad anniversary of my Uncle John, who passed away just 4 months after my grandmother, his mother, my Uncle John always taught me to stand in front of mine. It wasn't until he passed away that I fully grasped the concept. 4 months prior to my uncle was met with the task of gathering the family and burying his mother. From hospice care to lowering her into the dirt, I never saw my uncle not one time shed a tear. His own mother. And this, just 22 days from the 1-year sad anniversary of my 14-year-old cousin taking her own life partially due to bullying, where I had to take my uncle's role of standing in front of mine for my family. For my older cousin that was so stricken by grief he was unable to attempt the task at hand without a strong backing from his family and community. We as a community have to stand in front of ours. Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, William Chapman. July 7th, 2016, Philandro Castile, slain by a police officer for going for his wallet as requested by said officer. Slain right in front of his wife, slain right in front of his 4-year-old daughter. This was the straw that broke this camel's back. I had dibbed and dabbed in activism since Trayvon Martin, and it just didn't seem like I was doing enough. It was the same thing. Everybody would get all mad. Everybody would protest in the streets. Nobody would get convicted. And then we go back to love and hip hop. We go back to ratchet music. We go back to tearing our queens down, tearing our kings down. We go back to, degrading each other as a society. Our people, my people, people with the same melanin as me. And it was just like, well, who's gonna step it up here in the area? We turn on the TV in Baltimore, they're going crazy. Turn on the TV down in Florida, going crazy, all rightfully so. Every single different state, get choked out in New York. New York goes crazy. Everywhere except for right here in the 757, where William Chapman, an 18-year-old male, was slain at the Walmart in Portsmouth, Virginia. And I posted the story a year later, and it was like it was hot off the press. It's like, who? William Chapman? What? That happened here? Get out of here. Like, yeah, Portsmouth, cross the bridge, turn on the news, time to time. It's not just love and hip hop, I promise you. So that really sunk in with me that people really went share happy in a whole other area for somebody they didn't even know, that wasn't even their own community. So July 10th, 2016, like I said, July 7th was the day that it broke our back. So we had devised the 757 unity protest. Black Lives Matter 757 began as a peaceful protest in the cities of Hampton, Newport News, Norfolk, and Portsmouth on July 10, 2016 at 7:57 p.m. Concerned citizens gathered at major intersections in each city and mobilized the demand of equal justice and law enforcement accountability for all black lives. This was spearheaded by our campaign. And we don't want everybody to think that we're just all about protesting and being in the street just for certain different reasons. A lot of times, like I said, it's warranted. It's kind of like a callus where like you just keep getting hit and you just keep getting hit and you just keep getting hit and you just keep getting hit. If you could imagine somebody that looked exactly like you every time you turned on the news, getting shot in the back, you turn on the news, you literally see somebody getting choked out. And then when I tell y'all that I literally cried grown man tears when I saw that 4-year-old daughter having to comfort her mother as her dad and her husband passed away right in front of the very eyes. The 4-year-old had to comfort the mother. That was just, like I said, This one right here is 4 years old. I couldn't imagine that happening to him. That 4-year-old has to live with that for the rest of their life. So since then, the 757 Unity protest is speared national headlines. We protested in 5 different cities at the exact same time, all peacefully. Police were seen hugging protesters and praying with protesters. It was seen all across the world. We received national headlines all the way to the BBC. We were in headlines. I had to talk with the BBC and the Associated Press. So we made headlines over in France, over in Australia, and all these different things of that nature. But yet the 757 still wasn't aware. So we formed to keep that bug in everybody's ear that any sort of injustice will not be tolerated here in the 757, and there is somebody that will be willing to step up to the plate if need be and do it. Since then, we've been registering voters. We've been going all around trying to get people registered, getting everybody on the political wheels. We've been helping felons get their rights restored as citizens. When Hurricane Matthew struck, we did both cleanup and collections. We cleaned up Lafayette Park in Norfolk, Virginia, so that the students would be able to play during their regularly scheduled time because the fields were littered with debris and trees and things of that nature. We've been done toy drives. We partnered up with different city leaders. We did a toy drive in December and helped hundreds of Newport News residents and kids, gave them free bikes and gave the citizens of Newport News different items that they needed, partnering up with the city. We've also done different speaking engagements at colleges, encouragement. We've been to Richmond and a few other different places down in Charlotte. And this is all just in the last 9 months. We consider ourselves just getting started. We would really like to be, like I say, that advocate in the community for those who can't. Standing in solidarity with those unjust. As we mentioned, William Chapman, we had to go to court. We went to court with them, standing in solidarity with the family. It was kind of historical because the actual officer was convicted, and he was, it was only 2.5 years. So we counted it as a small victory, but it was a conviction. It was manslaughter, and we feel like we got more justice than a lot of other people got in the United States. Standing in solidarity with those who do not look like us. In closing, Black Lives Matter is not a saying that only Black Lives matter. It's a saying that attests to the fact that Black lives didn't seem to matter to the American people. And last but not least, we just would like to say that, you know, we understand the rhetoric of all lives matter, but to be inclusive in all lives matter, if you really think about it, all lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Jafari.